And that's exactly the sauce we are going to prepare now. But remember, the longer you reduce it, the more sugar you need to add. The easiest way to understand the degree of readiness of the sauce is the water test. Soon you will see what we got. To prepare unagi sauce at home, you need soy sauce, mirin, sake, and sugar in equal quantities 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. Add the eel scraps and let it simmer over low heat for about 20 minutes until it thickens. But if you don't have time for this, or don't want to bother, you can simply take ready-made unagi sauce, like the one I have here, katana. That will also taste good. Now I'll show you the thickness. See? You need to reduce the sauce to this state. And that's exactly the sauce we are going to prepare now. So let's start with sake. Literally 1 ladle will be enough for this amount of eel. Now turn on the heat. We need to evaporate the alcohol. Add the eel scraps to the sake. Remember I prepared them in advance? Now everything else, 1 ladle of mirin, and the same amount of soy sauce. To start, also 1 ladle of sugar. But you remember that the taste of a dish depends on your family's preferences, so taste it and balance it to your liking. But remember, the longer you reduce it, the more sugar you need to add, because its acidity changes almost every minute. The fact is that soy sauce becomes sour during the evaporation process. Well, all that remains is to reduce the sauce. You should not keep the sauce over high heat. It can easily burn. Moreover, over high heat, the eel becomes tough, so reduce the heat and stir frequently. Nok eel is known all over the world as a kind of delicacy. Not everyone can afford unagi for lunch, but once upon a time in Japan, eel was considered food for the poor. Aristocrats wouldn't even look at it. The reason is that, just like the carp, it lives in muddy water, so it has a rather specific smell. Wealthy people avoided eating such fish. It was considered food for the lower class. This was in the Edo era. I think today's wealthy people would be very surprised to find out what modern doctors think about eel, because they consider eel very healthy and recommend consuming it regularly for both adults and children. It is rich in vitamins D and E and B vitamins. It is believed that eel must be eaten on the Day of the Ox. This holiday falls during the hottest period of summer, in mid-August. A funny story is associated with this tradition. At one restaurant, no one wanted to buy eel, and the owner turned to a person famous in Japan for help, Genai Ohirage. He's like a Japanese Da Vinci, a genius. He thought for a moment and hung a sign on the wall that said, "Today is the day of the ox, the day of the eel." And people immediately started ordering eels. Besides, in Japan, food that has the letter U in its name is considered healthy. So everything is great. I personally believe that this is an excellent example of Japanese marketing. No wonder he was a genius. Let's stir the sauce. It is almost ready. It should remotely resemble this. You see, when the temperature drops, it will thicken a little more. So take it off literally a minute or two early. It is best to cook the sauce in a saucepan with a non-stick coating, or simply a heavy, thick metal saucepan. The sauce easily sticks in a regular metal saucepan. Again, I should note, of course, professional cooks prepare it in professional metal kitchen woks. But I am showing you the Japanese method for home cooking, and at home, things like this are usually prepared this way. See how nicely it thickens? Soon you will see what we got. The easiest way to understand the degree of readiness of the sauce is the water test. You need to take a little sauce and drop it into the water. If the drop does not quickly dissolve in the water the moment you drop it, but remains intact, this is a sign of a quality sauce. So, I think it's time. We need to simmer it a little more. The drop holds weakly. 1 or 2 more minutes and it will be ready. Let's try one more time. The sauce changes its consistency as soon as it starts to cool down in water. You need to make sure the drop doesn't spread before it reaches the bottom. Well, I think we've got it. The sauce is ready. Thank you for watching this video till the end. I'll be glad if you give it a like, subscribe to the channel, or leave your questions in the comments. I'm always open to this kind of conversation.
いただきます。